Well, this is Minuteman Scale / Old Pecan Homestead today. Reason some combos because I have got a cattle chute scale that I've made, and it's time to go install it here in a little bit. But first, I have some homesteading business to take care of down at the neighbors and friends of ours. We've got our cows down there. It's getting close to time to bring them back home, and part of that is going to be getting them loaded up. Well, they've got some corrals down there, but whoever built them made them to where you'd have to run your animals into the yard to get them in the corral. So we're going to put a gate on the outside, and we're going to start tricking them with some cubes so that we can get them loaded up without hassle. And so follow along. Alright, so they've got it marked for me what they want chopped out. So I'm going to try the angle grinder, see how it does. Basically, we're just going to chop this out, take all these little pieces of sucker rod and that top rail pipe and this piece of pipe, fabricate a gate, come back, hang some hinges, a latch, and we'll be able to trick those guys into coming in here to load up. 3 of them are getting AI'd at the vet. 3 of them are getting AI'd at the vet, or rather our house by the vet. And then 1 or 2 of them will be staying here to be fed out. We have a little heifer, Dexter, that may get fed out. They're already small. Heifers are only going to get so big, so I'm not real sure I want to put the money into feeding her out, but it would be some good beef. And she is maybe smaller than what I want to do, but I'm still not sure I don't want to get back into Dexter's. So I don't know that I want to butcher. So we may be needing to go to the sale barn and look for another steer in that 600-700 pound range to put with this one, so we can finish them with him. They're going to do better if you have 2 of them, and half of this beef will be going to our friends, the Eldridge, down here, because we're using their property to graze them. The end of last summer and all winter, they've been down here. And then we'll keep a half. It'd be nice to sell a half to cover some of those expenses of raising these cows. So anyways, stay tuned and watch me chop this out. And I'll try to get some video of the fab at the gate and rehanging it. So stick around and check that scale out here in a bit. We have spectators. There's a bony steer that really needs to get on some feed. He's got as much grass as hay that he can eat, but he needs some fat on his bones. Definitely dairy influenced, if I had to guess. And there's the little heifer that may get fed out. She's a little more beefy. She's just small. He's got the frame. I just need to put the weight on it. If you're going to use a grinder to fab, you really need a real battery, like one of them 60-volt flex. Even these 4 or 5 amp hour batteries, they just, as you can see, I made almost all the cuts I needed. Almost made it. Alright, I'm running behind now. I gotta run over, get the equipment to go install on that cattle chute. Stop by the store, get some hardware, and get over there. So follow along. I need the foot that was on my end. Just gotta go this way. I didn't grab my drill bit for a second. I was about to be. This one actually has a crown for hitting it. Moo bars. Get your moo bars. All right, guys. It's been a couple days, or one full day, half a day since I chopped out the fence over at our friend's house, or the corral fencing. And I've got the materials laying right here in the shop floor that I brought from there, the pieces I cut out and the pipe that they left. And I'm fixing to start chopping these down to length and getting them welded together. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Just try to square them up as best as possible. I do have to come up with, I do have to decide what I'm going to do for hinges and a latch. Hinges, I might have enough 5/8 sucker rod scraps laying around to make a couple hinges. And I have one piece of 5/8 long enough to make a latch if I don't have to use it for hinges. But anyways, you see that chute right there? That is something I'm toying around with doing a project video on. It's a portable. Let's just go look at it. All right, so it's supposed to be a static chute, but somebody has modified it to be portable, and it's very hard to cam these feet down. Now, what I was considering doing was just putting a jack out here on the tongue that will go all the way flush with the ground, because it has to get all the way to the ground to undo or to be able to pull it off. But if I had a jack that would be flush with the ground and be able to crank it up a couple feet, it would make it a whole lot easier to pin the wheels back in the drive position. And also, being scale man, it's gonna have to have a scale on it. So what I'd like to do though is tear this whole, take it all the way apart. There's some significant wear on the pins where they've opened and closed that squeeze so many times. I want to take it down, fill those in with weld, polish them off. I want to strip this whole thing down into components as far as possible, paint them all up, put it all back together. Of course, it'll probably go up for sale, which I'd hate to sell it because it's very handy, and I feel like I got a pretty good deal on this thing, so I'd hate to sell it, but everything works on it. Just needs a new floor. Anyways, let's get this stuff chopped out and this gate made. No going back now. All right, so I got Levi out here. Had him tack it up. We helped me with the tape measure, squared it up, tacked it up. I finished up the welding. This will be a gate. There'll be some torque and stuff on it, so I really wanted to burn some pretty good welds in there, especially as rusty and painted up as that 2 3/8 inch pipe was, without just totally prepping it down to bare metal, which is kind of unnecessary. Going in as a used, as used equipment, used material in an older corral. Should hold up for years and years as it is. Now all there's left to do is trim the ends off and come up with some hinges.